Hi, my name is Steph and this is Steph Does Data. Today we're going to be looking at importing and exporting CSV files. Now, one of the easiest and most versatile ways to do this is to use the CSV module, as it provides lots of flexibility and has functions specifically designed to work with CSV files. Today I'm only going to be covering the reader and writer functions of it, however. So to start up, you first need to open the file you're working with using this line here. As you can see, you'll need to define your file path name and the path. I've done this multiple different ways in this code just to give you an idea of some of the ways you can do it. Just remember to include the extension.csv at the end of your file, and it's probably good practice to include the R at the beginning of your string so that it can read special characters like the backslash inside it. There are other ways to do this, I just found this was the most effective for myself. Now, if you want to write a file, make sure you include the W in here, which will allow you to edit it. If the file name you have given here doesn't exist in this case, it will create it, and if it does exist, it will override whatever is inside it. So just make note of that. And finally, you can do a lot inside the open file with the data, but you need to make sure you bring the data out in some form or another, such as a list or dictionary, if you plan on working with it once you've closed the file. Okay, so, like I said, the CSV import has a lot of versatility when it comes to working with CSVs, and can work with ones that have been created from many different CSV types. In particular, you have the ability to set things like your own delimiter, which is the symbol that separates entries, and your quotation character, which is the one that defines what's inside of a string. In my case, the delimiter here is the comma and the quotation is the double quotation mark. As a default, I believe these are set as the general symbols Excel uses in its CSV files, so if you're working with an Excel-generated CSV, you probably don't have to worry about this. If you're not sure, however, an easy way to check this is to just go to your CSV file and open it in Notepad. This will show you what your Python will read. Now, CSV has two ways to read and write data: CSV Reader and CSV Dict Reader. And conversely, CSV Writer and CSV Dict Writer. The main difference between them is the form they come in and whether or not they have a header. With CSV Reader and Writer, there is no distinction. As you can see here, the header is the first row of the entry and has no distinction between it and the other values. With CSV Dict Reader and Writer, however, a distinction is made, and the header will be used as the key to finding the values underneath it, much like a dictionary type. Depending on what you're going for, one or the other may or may not have more value to you. Finally, let's talk about another way of importing and exporting data, and that is by using pandas. Now, as far as I've been able to gather, there is no major benefit of using one method over the other than the fact that pandas brings the data in the form of a pandas data frame. This in and of itself is a very useful tool for doing data manipulations and analysis, but I will talk more about data frames in the next video. For now, this is the end of how to import and export CSVs into Python. I hope it was helpful, and I'll see you next time.